What's up everybody, my name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon, the crypto universe. Today's Monday, April 20th. Now in today's video, I want to talk about how Binance is trading dog on multiple exchanges by using these market maker wallets. Now what you're about to find out in this video, which is something that you really need to pause and watch. So if you're driving out there, if you're moving around, you need to stop what you're doing, you need to pull over. If you're in your house, stop everything and just pay attention to the screen, because I'm going to share with you how all these different wallets track to the Binance Ordinal hot wallet, and it's all coordinated. Basically what you're about to see is all this price manipulation that you're seeing with dog is on purpose. This is an execution strategy deployed by Binance, and you'll see it's not just happening on Gate, it's happening on MEXC, it's happening on BitGet, you name it, and even Merlin chain. So I want to get right into it. I think this data is going to be very helpful for you to understand that Binance absolutely wants your dog. Now, smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X. Please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I'll never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email, so please be careful and invest safely. Guys and girls, let's get right into it. Okay, so dog right now is around 75 million market cap. Now, you may have saw this recent dip, which I will talk about in a little bit because this was coordinated by Binance. Now, when I scroll down below, I want you to pay attention to the largest trading volume as of today. It happens to be BitGet. Now, BitGet typically does not have the largest trading volume. It's usually second place. Gate's usually the first one, right? And then sometimes you see MEXC, but MEXC again doesn't have as much trading volume as Gate. We do see it often now and then, but we're going to talk about MEXC as well. Now notice that Kraken is not an exchange that typically has the highest trading volume. Every now and then it will have a spark, meaning it will have a large trading volume higher than most of these other exchanges. But it's because Binance does not actually have any connection to Kraken. And you know why? Because if Binance was trading within Kraken, then that means if the US passes the Clarity Act, and then all of a sudden we have the CFTC and SEC watching transfers and trades, insider trading within exchanges, then they'll look at how Binance targeted US customers through Kraken. But because they're only trading on overseas exchanges like BitGet, Gate, and MEXC, they won't get in trouble until the Clarity Act is passed. Now, let's look into Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up $76,000, so mostly all altcoins and meme coins will do pretty well because of that. So let's go over to the meme coin sector. So we want to pay attention to the 7 days, but also the 24 hours. So you can see that mostly everything's in green, right? But I like to pay attention to the past 7 days, because if we scroll down below where dog Bitcoin is, it's down maybe like around 1%, but it's up 18%. And the reason we pay attention over the past week is because dog is actually the best performing meme coin across all the different meme coin blue chips in the past week. So over the weekend, I was actually doing some observation around the Ordi token. So as you know, Ordi pumped from roughly 53 million market cap as high as 214 million market cap out of nowhere, right? It just pumped out of nowhere. Well, guess what? On April 15th, the day that this actually started, I saw all these different wallets deploy like hundreds of thousands to a few 75,000 or whatever. Like you can see here that there are a few $100,000 being deployed in intervals within just like minutes from each other, right? So that all happened and was deployed by Binance. Now Binance all of a sudden deployed that capital into the number one holding wallet of Ordi. And as you know, this wallet particularly owns roughly 46% of the supply, right? So that's obviously insider trading and a lot of favoritism to a whale. So that happened, and then we saw a short squeeze. So basically we saw a ton of liquidations in leverage trading, which also pumps the price of that specific token. But I realized we had all these red candles. I mean, look at the pump and look at the sharp dump. Now, when I looked at this specific wallet, it actually had gained roughly around $3.2 million in appreciation from what it put in to what it put out. Basically in profit, it made around like $2.6 million. So obviously this is potential insider trading and positioning. But following after that, believe it or not, check this out. So I was doing even more on-chain research because I saw roughly on April 17th, this specific wallet ending in SFJ8. Now, this had an outflow of 80 million tokens out of nowhere. I don't know why, but this specific withdrawal happened on Gate. Now, why would this whale wallet number 30 withdraw 80 million tokens to Gate.io? Well, believe it or not, when you look at the trails of what it's linked to, it is linked to the Binance Ordinal hot wallet. So it's directed by the Binance Ordinal hot wallet. But guess what? Look what's happening in between. So dog whale wallet number 30 was created by a coin join address, which we know hides the source of who is actually behind it, meaning like the name of the person. It avoids like exploiting any KYC. So coin join was also associated with a couple wallets that were also tied in to, believe it or not, the #1 holder of Ordi. Isn't that very strange? So as a recap, the Binance Ordinal hot wallet put in hundreds of thousands of dollars into the #1 holder of the Ordi token, which made over $2.6 million, which is also linked to a coin join address, which also is connected to the whale wallet number 30 with withdrawal 80 million dog tokens to Gate.io. This to me does not look like it's just a coincidence. It's all coordinated by Binance. Here's another example. So this happened on April 18th, which was on Saturday. Now, what I paid attention to is basically this wallet right here, ending in TACH. Now, this at the time was a potential market maker. Potential. Remember that I said that, potential. Now, this specific wallet had an outflow, right? So this is the balance of that specific wallet, and it was connected to an outflow to Gate.io. Believe it or not, if you see this trading volume on your screen, it's actually higher than any of the other exchanges, which is higher than BitGet, it's even higher than MEXC. And what I noticed when I went on Arkham Intelligence is that this withdrawal was directed by Binance Ordinal Hot Wallet, meaning the Binance Ordinal Hot Wallet told this specific wallet to transfer that amount over to Gate.io. And it's also associated with another market maker, which is ending in EAE9. So, as you can see, this is all coordinated by the Binance team or the Binance insiders or whoever's behind this. The Binance Ordinal Hot Wallet is always the source of all this crazy trading volume that's going on with dog price. And it's basically that Binance wants your dog. Now, I want you to focus on this specific slide. Now, remember, this isn't some just isolated incident that's happening on Gate.io. It's also happening on MEXC. So in this specific screenshot on the exact same day, pay attention to this wallet, HKMU. Now, when I linked this wallet, I paid attention to what other wallets it was linked to, which these are the wallets that it is. This is a whole web of wallets. Now, this may not be just wallets that are trading dog. This could be like other tokens, who knows, right? But what I paid attention to was this specific wallet that was attached to the MEXC wallet, and it linked to, guess what, a Binance hot wallet. So this isn't a Binance Ordinal wallet, this is a Binance hot wallet, so it's unrelated to the Ordinal section. But nonetheless, when I'm seeing this amount of activity, now this may not be on purpose, but regardless, it always sources back to Binance. Why not Gate.io? Why not KuCoin? Why not BitGet? Why not Bybit? It's always linked to Binance. So something's going on behind the scenes that we're not seeing on the Binance team, but on chain, I'm seeing a lot of activity and influence in dog's price based on all these wallet connections sourcing back to Binance. Now let's talk about what happened yesterday. So what I noticed is that there was a potential market maker bot, again, going back to TACH. Now, the reason I keep on bringing up this specific wallet, which is, again, a potential market maker, is because I keep seeing outflows to Gate.io. As you can see, all these things in red, these are outflows. They're sending dog tokens to Gate.io. And when that happens, that means that there's going to be something happening to the dog price. So as you saw yesterday, as I mentioned in that recent dip that we saw, this right here, this is the dip that I saw. That post that I just showed you was posted right before that dip. So that means Binance was sending funds to that market maker bot or market maker wallet to influence the price of dog. And that's why you saw that sharp capitulation. And guess what? Dog's right back up again. It's because what they're trying to do is shake you out of your bags. But the next slide may even shock you even more. So this is what happened today. This is all the transaction volume that happened today on Monday, April 20th. Now let's start from the very beginning. Okay, so it starts all by the Binance Ordinal hot wallet. Now, what are we paying attention to? Notice that there is an intermediary wallet. Now, this wallet was created by the Binance Ordinal hot wallet. And this specific wallet created, guess what? Two different market maker wallets. Now, remember, this one's ending in TACH, as I told you, remember, and this one's ending in EAE9. These two wallets are now confirmed to be market maker wallets created by the Binance team. Now, what's really interesting is that we're also seeing that Merlin Chain, one of the top holders of dog, I've been paying attention to this wallet on and off, but I just never thought that it was linked to anything related to these market maker wallets or even Binance. But believe it or not, these market maker wallets are also using Merlin Chain. As you can see, these two different wallets right here are connected to Merlin Chain that directly connect to market maker number 2, ending in TACH. Now, Let's go back to the intermediary wallet, because remember, I talked about that Bitget was the highest trading volume as of today. The reason that is, Binance created that wallet, which created all these two market maker wallets, but also, if you click on that specific wallet, it also links back to the same Binance Ordinal hot wallet. And when I looked on the recent transfers as of today, just within like the past hour, it also had transfers of DOG over to Bitget. And Bitget is the reason why we see the largest trading volume as of today. Guys and girls, this is not a coincidence. This is all happening for a reason. Binance is not just wanting your DOG. There's potentially in the lines or on the roadmap ahead a Binance spot listing of DOG or a Binance listing of DOG on Binance Alpha. But there's also the third route, that Binance wants DOG to not be successful and maybe wants Ordi to be successful. As you saw, Ordi pumped by inflows from the Binance hot wallet from their own exchange. So what they want you to think is that Asia wants Ordi, but there is no community behind Ordi, as I mentioned before, because there's no way on X, there's no demand from it. And that's why you see a huge portion, roughly around 73% within the top 10 wallets and 46% within the number one wallet of Ordi. It's completely whale manipulated. So they want people to think that. And that's why they're actually liquidating a whole bunch of leverage traders and holders who buy into that token. They want DOG for many of these reasons, because they have to trick retail as much as possible to sell their bags, which this could have been going on for about a year now, to be very honest with you. So that's why you've probably seen the DOG price have such huge volatility, making all-time lows. It's not because retail is selling. In fact, long-term holders are around 79%. So in fact, they're trying to liquidate the people that are like the 21% holders that cannot hold their bags. They're trying to get their bags of anything. So if you're the 21% out there, just know that Binance wants your DOG. So don't give them that. And why do they want your DOG? I mean, look at the on-chain metrics, okay? So this is something that I want to share with you as of yesterday. So yesterday, believe it or not, we saw that Runes that uses op return accounted for 75% of the Bitcoin transactions on the Bitcoin network. 75% just yesterday. Over the week, we've seen Runes account for 62% of the Bitcoin network. That means there's a resurgence of Runes transactions. And I don't think that this is just like a minting of uncommon goods. I actually think that this is on-chain transactions with people buying DOG, because DOG is only really available on Bitget, MEXC, Gate.io, and Kraken. That's about it. It's missing Bybit, it's missing Binance, it's missing KuCoin, it's missing Crypto.com, Upbit, you name it. These are major Asian exchanges. So really the place that people are going to most likely buy DOG is either on Kraken or on chain. Because remember, Binance is not buying DOG through Kraken. They're going to have to buy it through Gate and Bitget and MEXC because they're overseas, but they also can buy it through on-chain volume. I mean, here's another image. Okay, so check this out. This was just posted yesterday. What have you noticed? Now, this is the entire history of Runes transactions on the Bitcoin network ever since the beginning in April of 2024. Now, remember, in 2024, Runes were a huge thing. Everybody was talking about Runes, and then the Trump token, or aka the Trump memecoin, came out, and it actually took Runes transaction volume down significantly ever since then. That's why 2025 was kind of quiet. But what have you noticed in April 2026? We saw a huge surge of Runes transactions. Now, what does this actually mean? This means that this transaction volume isn't just happening within retail. I think it's even more of a powerful entity like Binance behind it, because they have the monetary power to deploy that much capital to manipulate the price of DOG, but to accumulate as much as possible. Because Binance needs a large supply of DOG in order for there to be a spot listing, and who knows when that will happen, but nonetheless, they want to dump the token. Basically, they want to dump DOG once it's listed on Binance. But nonetheless, this is actually very beneficial for any DOG holders out there around the world, because when the news gets out, when they do list it, that price of DOG is going to go up. So now that you see all the on-chain data with Binance influencing the DOG price and using market maker wallets to buy DOG, then this is your chance to actually do that. Now, let's look into charting analysis. What have I noticed? Now, this is something that I want to pay attention to, which is the MACD. The MACD right now, the blue line has entered into the buyer zone, but not the orange line. But soon, maybe they will. But regardless, this trend, this ascending trend line, which is the yellow line, is showing that the selling pressure got weaker and weaker even since February of 2026. It got weaker and weaker regardless of the price volatility. And we're actually seeing that potentially we're going to flip bullish. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But look at the RSI. Remember, I said pay attention to the yellow line, not the purple line. The reason we pay attention to the yellow line is because the purple line can just signal a top, a local top, but it doesn't mean it's the end of the pump. Now, when I'm looking at the dog price, what am I paying attention to? So with this yellow line getting up to this specific point, have you actually seen a sharp yellow line like this in the history of dog? Maybe you saw it over here. Maybe you saw it over here. Maybe you saw it right over here. But notice something, that is pretty rare. Usually we see stagnation. So usually when we see something like this, it should look something like this, where the dog prices, trade sideways for such a long time. Yellow line goes up and down, very small up and down movements. That's usually what we see. We can even see here and even over here. But this is a very sharp upwards momentum trend. And that replicates only times where we see things like this over here when the dog price pumps, something over here, something over here, and something over here. So that's really weird, right? That's just something what I'm seeing on chain. Now, I don't know what's going to happen on the macro aspect. I don't know if like the Strait of Hormuz is going to be opened or closed. I don't know if the president's going to say something that's going to send this price down or any other token down. But regardless, this is something that I've just noticed. And I think you really need to pay attention. So ladies and gentlemen, you already know that I'm bullish. Make sure to hit bullish on CoinMarketCap and leave some great comments in the CoinMarketCap section. I think it's really awesome that you guys and girls are going to support this specific token by showing up on CoinMarketCap, because if dog is trading on CoinMarketCap, it's going to show up on one of the trending pages on CMC. So you've seen everything. As a conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I just showed you all the on-chain proof that Binance is influencing dog price, wanting your dog more and more, trying to use all these exchanges like Gate, like MEXC, and like BitGet. This video has been super revealing, not just to me, but I'm sure all of you as well. It's been an exciting weekend. But nonetheless, Binance wants your dog. They're most likely going to list dog at some certain point, but you have to beat them to it. Right? They want your token so that they can dump it upon listing. Because if we're not paying for listing fee, and because this is a free and fair distribution, the only way to get your token is to influence the price, to get you scared. But based on what I'm seeing, none of you are fazed by this. But don't be surprised if they try to do something drastic, because these guys are pretty smart and they are experienced at this, and they are really good at just hiding their trails. But nonetheless, we found them. So I just want to give a shout out to our sponsors, and if you want to support this channel, please smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and updates regarding Dog on the Moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.